If you carry a debit card or have a social security number, what follows applies directly to your financial security right now. A resident of Montgomery County received a piece of mail she was not expecting. It came from a financial institution she had never visited and never done business with. The letter referenced account activity under her name. She immediately understood something was seriously wrong. 3 separate accounts had been established in her name without her knowledge or authorization. Someone had also attempted to apply for a loan using her identity. Her immediate reaction was panic, not because of what she knew had happened, but because of everything she could not yet see. What she did next and how the institution responded reveals a pattern that plays out for hundreds of thousands of Americans every year. Understanding that pattern is the first step toward making sure it does not happen to you. When she contacted the institution directly, a representative confirmed the 3 accounts and directed her to visit a physical branch location. The branch told her to call the number printed on the letter. The fraud department asked her to provide the complete account numbers for the unauthorized accounts. She did not have them. She had never opened them. She was then redirected back to the branch. That cycle, phone to phone, each representative asking for her social security number first and account number second, each one telling her they could not help and redirecting her elsewhere, continued for nearly a month before she sought outside assistance. A news organization reviewed the documentation she had received, contacted the institution directly on her behalf, and shared her records. The institution escalated the matter internally. Within days, she received written confirmation that the accounts would be closed and was given a named point of contact assigned to her case. The institution declined to comment on the specifics of her earlier attempts to resolve the situation, citing confidentiality. She was relieved, but the month she spent in that loop represents exactly what this video exists to prevent. This is not just a bank problem. When unauthorized accounts are opened in your name, the instinct is to treat it as something the financial institution needs to fix. That framing is incomplete, and it costs people time they do not have. Unauthorized account openings are identity theft. The distinction matters because the response that resolves a bank error and the response that addresses identity theft are not the same. An identity theft response involves federal reporting, credit bureau action, and documentation that creates a legal record. A bank error response involves a phone call and a correction. If you treat identity theft as a bank error, you are likely to find yourself in the same loop she experienced, redirected, stalled, and unresolved. Most people do not discover unauthorized accounts by checking their credit score. They find out the way she did, through unexpected mail from an institution they do not recognize. Others find out when they are denied for something they applied for. Others find out when a bank they do recognize contacts them about suspicious activity connected to their name elsewhere. If you receive mail from a financial institution you have never done business with, do not assume it is unsolicited marketing material. Do not discard it. That letter may be the earliest warning you receive before the situation expands further. How this happens. Someone obtained enough of her personal information to convince a financial institution that they were her. Banks process high volumes of new account applications. The information required to open a basic deposit account, full legal name, address, date of birth, social security number, phone number, email address, is available through multiple channels that have nothing to do with anything the account holder did wrong. Data breaches are the most common source. A company you provided your information to months or years ago may have experienced a breach that exposed customer records. You may not remember providing your information to that company. You may never have been notified that the breach occurred. The individuals who purchase stolen data from breached records do not care how old it is. They collect it, sell it, and reuse it repeatedly. Phishing is the second primary method. A text message, email, or phone call is constructed to appear as though it originates from your bank, the IRS, the United States Postal Service, a delivery carrier, or a fraud prevention department. The message creates urgency, your account has been locked, suspicious activity was detected, your identity needs to be verified immediately. You are directed to click a link or provide information over the phone or through a reply. The site the link leads to is not the institution it appears to represent. The information you enter goes directly to the party that constructed the message. Mail theft is the third method and receives less attention than it warrants. Bank statements, credit card offers, tax documents, insurance correspondence, and medical billing all contain personal information sufficient to support identity theft. Physical mail left unsecured or discarded without shredding is a source of exposure that does not require any technical sophistication to exploit. Weak account security is the fourth method. An email account protected by a weak password or a password reused across multiple platforms can be accessed by credential stuffing attacks that try known username and password combinations automatically across thousands of sites. Once inside your email, an unauthorized party can reset passwords, locate financial correspondence, find account statements, and assemble a profile using pieces of information gathered from multiple sources over time. Identity thieves rarely need complete information obtained in a single event. They accumulate fragments, a name and address from one source, a date of birth from another, a partial social security number from a third, an email address from a fourth, and combine them until the combination is sufficient to attempt account openings, loan applications, or credit card approvals. That is why the window between the first unauthorized action and discovery is so consequential. Every day those accounts remain open is another day they can be used for fraudulent deposits, bad check schemes, domestic or international money transfers, or activity that associates your identity with financial misconduct you had no involvement in. When you later attempt to open a legitimate account, the institution may flag your name based on that history. Step 1. Contact the institution directly using a verified number. Do not call a number printed on an unexpected letter without first confirming that number belongs to the institution through its official website. Search the institution's name directly and navigate to the official site independently. Locate the fraud department contact number from there. When you reach a representative, be specific and direct. State that accounts have been opened in your name without your authorization. State that you are a victim of identity theft. State that you need those accounts frozen, investigated, and closed immediately. Do not use tentative language. Do not say you think something may be wrong or that you are not sure what happened. The words that activate fraud response protocols are identity theft, unauthorized accounts, and fraud. Use them. Step 2. Create a documentation record from the first call. Every contact with any institution from this point forward should be documented. Record the date, the time, the name of the representative, and any case number provided. If the representative refuses to help, request escalation. If you are transferred repeatedly, document each transfer. If you are directed to visit a branch, go if you are able. Face-to-face communication with a branch manager can accelerate resolution, but take your notes with you and continue documenting. A paper trail is not optional. If the situation expands or you need to file complaints with regulatory bodies, your records establish that you acted promptly and completely. Step 3. File an identity theft report at identitytheft.gov. The Federal Trade Commission operates identitytheft.gov as the official federal reporting portal for identity theft. Filing a report there produces two things: an official identity theft report and a personalized recovery plan. That report carries legal weight that a phone call to a bank does not. When you submit a dispute to a credit bureau, a lender, or any other institution, attaching your FTC identity theft report changes how that dispute is evaluated. You are no longer simply claiming an account is not yours. You are providing federal documentation that unauthorized use of your identity has been reported to the appropriate authority. Many people skip this step because they assume the bank call is sufficient. It is not. Step 4. Freeze your credit with all three major credit bureaus. A credit freeze restricts the ability of any party to open new credit accounts in your name. It is free to place and free to lift. The three major credit reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, each maintain independent files and must each be contacted separately. In the situation described above, after the unauthorized bank accounts were closed, an attempt was made to apply for a loan in her name. Her credit had already been frozen. That freeze may have prevented the loan from being approved. A credit freeze is not the same as locking a debit card. A credit freeze addresses new credit account openings. It does not automatically block every form of bank fraud, which brings you to the next step. Step 5. Place a freeze or monitor your ChexSystems file. ChexSystems is a consumer reporting agency that most banks use to screen applicants when someone attempts to open a checking or savings account. It operates separately from the three major credit bureaus. A standard credit freeze does not affect your ChexSystems file. You can request your ChexSystems report at no cost and review it for accounts or activity you do not recognize. You can also place a security freeze directly with ChexSystems, which restricts the ability of financial institutions to use your file when processing new deposit account applications. If someone is attempting to open bank accounts in your name, this step addresses that exposure specifically. Step 6. Review your full credit reports, not just your scores. Your credit score is a summary. The underlying report contains the information that matters when identity theft has occurred. A new unauthorized account may appear as an inquiry before it fully registers on a score, meaning your score may not yet reflect the problem. Pull the full reports from all three bureaus and review each one for new accounts, recent inquiries, unfamiliar addresses, alternate names, and phone numbers that do not belong to you. The official source for free annual credit reports is annualcreditreport.com, which is authorized by federal law. When you identify something that does not belong in your file, dispute it. Attach your FTC identity theft report to the dispute. A dispute submitted with supporting identity theft documentation is evaluated differently than a standard dispute. You are not simply stating the account is not yours. You are providing evidence that identity theft was reported to federal authorities and has been formally documented. Step 7. Contact every institution connected to the fraud. If the unauthorized activity involved a bank account, contact that bank. If a loan application was submitted in your name, contact that lender. If your email address was used, secure your email account and enable two-factor authentication. If your phone number was involved, contact your mobile carrier and request that additional security verification be added to your account. Identity thieves who obtain your personal information from a data breach or dark web purchase typically paid for that information and intend to extract as much value from it as possible. A single unauthorized account opening is frequently the first of multiple attempts across different institutions and account types. How to reduce your exposure before a problem occurs. Freeze your credit now before anything happens. Most people wait until unauthorized activity appears. If you are not actively applying for a mortgage, auto loan, credit card, or rental housing, there is no practical reason to leave your credit file accessible. You can freeze it at no cost with all three bureaus online or by phone. When you need to apply for something, you can lift the freeze temporarily and replace it when the application is complete. Freeze your ChexSystems file proactively. If you have no plans to open a new deposit account in the near future, a ChexSystems freeze reduces the ability of anyone to open a checking or savings account using your information. Most people are unaware this option exists until after unauthorized accounts have already appeared. Do not click links in text messages or emails referencing your financial accounts. If your bank sends a message indicating a problem with your account, close the message. Open the bank's official application directly or navigate to the bank's official website independently. Call the number listed on the institution's official site. The number on the back of a debit card sometimes becomes illegible over time. Go to the source. Protect physical mail. Shred any document containing personal information before discarding it. Do not leave bank statements, credit card offers, tax correspondence, or insurance documents in unsecured locations. If mail you normally receive stops arriving, investigate promptly. A change of address redirect is a method some identity thieves use to intercept financial correspondence before you see it. Use strong, unique passwords and enable two-factor authentication, particularly on your email account. Your email is the central access point for most of your financial life. Password reset requests for banking, investment, and other financial accounts are typically sent to your email. If an unauthorized party accesses your email, they may be able to reset credentials for accounts you have not thought about in years. What to do when the institution is not helping? Do not allow a financial institution to redirect you indefinitely without taking action. You did not open the accounts. You are not expected to provide account numbers you do not have. Your role is to report the situation clearly, document every contact, and escalate when the response is inadequate. If the institution continues to be unresponsive after documented repeated attempts to resolve the matter, file a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. File a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission through identitytheft.gov. Maintain copies of every letter, every email, and screenshots of every relevant digital communication. Keep a written record of every representative you spoke with, every date, and every case number. The faster you move through each of these steps, the less time unauthorized accounts have to be used for activity that damages your financial standing or associates your identity with conduct you had no involvement in. Subscribe to Retirement Watch USA and like this video so this information reaches others before they find themselves opening unexpected mail from a bank they have never used. Share this with anyone in your life who carries a debit card or has a social security number, which means share it with everyone you know.